20 already of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I look to hit off the waiver wire this week. The first guy, Hyun-Shin Ryu of the Toronto Blue Jays. So Ryu, he came off Tommy John surgery, and so far he's been pretty solid in his return here. On the year, 19 innings, 2-1 record, 15 strikeouts, a 2.37 ERA, 1.05 whip, and no quality starts on the season. So right now, he took Alek Manoah's spot in the rotation over the last few weeks. Here's Ryu, and he's going out there, and he's really getting the job done right now for this Blue Jay team and fantasy owners. And it's very surprising to me he's still out there in 60% of fantasy leagues. So the last few games here for Ryu: August 7th at Cleveland, 4 innings in that one, no decision, no hits, no runs, a walk, 2 Ks. August 13th versus the Cubs, 5 innings, got the win, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And August 20th at the Reds, 5 innings, got the win, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 7 Ks. So right now, he's not going deep into games. He's pretty much maxing out at 5 innings here is Ryu. But like I said, he's on a good Toronto Blue Jay team that is going to give him a lot of run support. They're playing great baseball this season, obviously, this Blue Jay team. And right now, especially this part of the year with the playoff push in head-to-head leagues, it's tough to find decent starting pitching. So right now, while Ryu's out there in 60% of leagues, and for the most part, the only category he's not really going to give you much of, obviously, is strikeouts and quality starts, but everything else, he's pretty much giving owners. And I'll give him an ad this week. The next pitcher, Kyle Harrison of the San Francisco Giants, the highly anticipated call-up here of the top prospect in the San Francisco system at pitching. So right now, Harrison, he's coming up, and he's starting August 22nd's ball game tomorrow at the Philadelphia Phillies. I know it's a tough ball game to get into, but Harrison, he's their top pitching prospect in the minor leagues. This Giant team, they're trying to close out and get one of these last wild card spots and hold on to a spot, obviously. And right now, it's put up or shut up type of time, where calling up a pitcher here like Harrison can pay big dividends for this Giant team, obviously, in making a playoff spot or not, and also for fantasy owners who need a little boost here towards the end of the season. So right now, still available 90% of fantasy leagues. Here's Kyle Harrison, but I think that obviously is going to go up quick, is that percentage, as the day goes on here, fantasy owners. So like I said, top pitching prospect in the system, one of the top pitching prospects among all Major League Baseball. And this season, it was the year of the prospect. A lot of prospects got called up early and often. I thought Harrison, to be honest, would have been called up a little earlier this season. But now he's here in the big leagues, and like I said, he's got good K stuff. He's on a Giant team trying to get into one of those last spots here in the wild card race. And right now, I think he can help fantasy owners, even if he's not going to go deep into games. Just the upside and the K rate in the minor leagues definitely was good, so I would give Harrison an ad this week. The next pitcher, Clevinger of the Chicago White Sox. So Clevinger came off the injury list a few weeks ago, and right now he's been pitching pretty solid for this White Sox team since he returned. On the year, 85 2/3, 5-5 record, 71 Ks, a 3.26 ERA, 1.25 whip, and 5 quality starts. For the last month of the season, he's been lights out, 23 innings, 2-1 record, 18 Ks, a 1.57 ERA, and 0.96 whip, and 2 quality starts. So this White Sox team, we know they're not going to give him a lot of run support. Here's Mike Clevinger. But throughout his career, we've seen some flashes where he could be a top-of-the-rotation guy, obviously, for a baseball team. And for terms of fantasy baseball, I think he's a solid back-into-the-rotation pitcher right now. Obviously, things could go the other way. 3 out of 4 outings, he's gone out there, and he's pitched gems. August 4th at Cleveland, 5 innings, got the loss, 8 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 2 Ks. August 9th versus the Yankees, 6 innings, got the win, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks in that one, 6 Ks, a quality start. And August 16th at the Cubs, 7 innings, tough luck, no decision. The bullpen blew it for him, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and a quality start. So he's going out there the last few outings, he's pitching good baseball. And I know tomorrow's ball game is definitely going to be a tough test here versus Seattle Mariners. That all of a sudden caught fire, and Julio Rodriguez, he's breaking crazy records right now that we haven't seen in 90-plus seasons. So right now, it's a tough matchup, no doubt about it, for Clevinger. I know he's on a bad Chicago White Sox team that's totally had a horrible season here, but right now available in 70% of fantasy leagues. And like I said, I think he can help fantasy owners in the back end of their rotations for the remainder of the season. The next pitcher is Alan Winans of the Atlanta Braves. So Winans, he's coming back up to the major leagues here. And this Brave team, the problem's been that 5th spot pretty much the whole season. Obviously, with injuries to Fried even back now, over the last few outings, and also Kyle Wright early in the season. So right now they're trying to patch the back end up. And Winans, he looked good in his last outing versus the New York Mets, even though we know this Met team isn't that great offensively, even though the last week here they've been playing a little bit better on the season. For Winans, 11 and a third, 1-0 record, 14 Ks, a 1.59 ERA, a 1.06 whip, and a quality start. So guess what? He's going to have a ball game here tonight versus the New York Mets here coming to town versus the Atlanta Braves. So that's a good matchup here for Winans. Obviously, his last outing, he went out there and pitched a gem versus this New York Met team. And right now, I would expect him to do it once again. So in the two outings he's had this season, July 22nd at the Brewers, 4 1/3 in that one. 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 5 Ks. And August 12th at the Mets, 7 innings in that one. Got the win, 4 hits, 2 walks, 9 Ks, a quality start. So he definitely has good K stuff, is Winans. And right now he pitches on the best team in Major League Baseball, this Atlanta Braves team, where obviously they're going to give him tons of run support. They did last time in his last outing versus the New York Mets. And I think he definitely could lock down a rotation spot, at least for the remainder of the regular season. The playoffs, obviously, is a different thing here if he's going to stay up. So right now, while he's available in 94% of leagues and playing on the best team, he's definitely a good ad this week. The next pitcher is Zach Littell of the Tampa Bay Rays. So Littell, he's come out of nowhere. And we've seen this a lot, obviously, over the last few years with this Ray team. Someone that no one's really heard of comes up from the minor leagues where they make a deal for him, giving up nothing. And all of a sudden, the pitcher has a good year. So on the season, 47 and a third, 2-4 record, 41 Ks, a 3.99 ERA, a 1.23 whip, and 2 quality starts. But the last month, since he's been in the rotation pretty much, 24 2/3, 2-2 record, 18 Ks, a 2.55 ERA, 0.93 whip, and 2 quality starts. So right now, he's available in 86% of fantasy leagues here, is Littell. And like I said, he's on a solid Tampa Bay Ray team, and they always find dubs here pitching the baseball. And now, obviously, with the major injuries, McClellan now for the season, Rasmussen, Jeffrey Springs going back to early in the year, so major injuries in the rotation. Littell is here to stay. So August 10th versus St. Louis, 6 innings, got the loss. 7 hits, 3 runs, 5 Ks, a quality start. August 15th at the Giants, 5 2/3, got the loss. 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks. So right now, next outings here versus the Colorado Rockies. And the good news, obviously, it's not in Coors Field, which is a hitter's haven, and the ball with that thin air really carries. So right now, well, he's got a good matchup once again on paper, and he's been pitched baseball since he's been in the rotation with all, and he's not going to lose his rotation spot at all with all the injuries. He's definitely a pitcher I look to add this week. The next pitcher, Cole Ragans of the Kansas City Royals. I know Ragans, he got bombed 2 outings ago, but for the most part, he's been pretty solid for this Royal team. On the year, 53 innings, 4-4 record, 60 Ks, a 4.08 ERA, a 1.38 whip, and 3 quality starts. But the last month of the season here for Ragans, 23 2/3, 2-1 record, 33 Ks, a 2.66 ERA, a 1.39 whip, and 3 quality starts. I think a lot of people, they panicked and obviously dropped him off to their waiver wire. But right now, he's pitching solid for the most part, is Ragans. And surprisingly, he's out there in tons of leagues at 77%. Like I said, a lot of people panicked after one bad outing and dropped him. But he bounced back at a good Chicago Cub team in his last outing. So the last 2 outings here for Ragans. August 12th versus the Cardinals, 5 innings, got the loss. 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks. And then the bounce back outing, August 18th at the Cubs, 6 innings, got the win. 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks, a quality start. So Ragans, he's got good strikeout stuff. Obviously, this Kansas City Royal team, they're looking to next season. And maybe Ragans, he could have a spot in the rotation if he keeps it up. But right now, as a back-end starter for fantasy owners, and a guy who qualifies a reliever as well, if you don't want to carry a closer and have him in your reliever spot, I think it's a good ad. I know they're not going to win a lot of ball games, is this Royal team, but if you need strikeouts and decent ERA and innings pitch, Ragans could bring that to owners, and his next outing's a great one, August 23rd at the worst team in the league here at the Oakland Athletics. I'd definitely give him an ad this week. The next pitcher, Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs. So Kyle Hendricks, he's been a solid veteran, obviously, throughout his career, but his better days are behind him, but he's still a solid 4th or 5th starter in a major league rotation. So on the season here for Hendricks, 98 2/3, 5 6 record, 64 Ks, a 3.87 ERA, 1.12 whip, and 10 quality starts on the season. So he's still going out there and he's given this Cub team quality starts, and he's serviceable, I believe, here for fantasy owners. Right now, still available in tons of leagues. In 59% here is Kyle Hendricks. So this Cub team, they're obviously fighting for one of the last spots here in the wild card race. And Hendricks, he's gone out there over the last few weeks and pitched pretty solid baseball, because it's tough to find pitching, especially this part of the season here, where everyone has pretty much been on the wire on and off the whole year, 20 weeks into the year. August 9th at the Mets, 5 innings, no decision. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. August 15th versus the White Sox, 6 innings in that one, no decision. 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. And August 20th versus the Royals, 6 1/3, got the win. 5 hits, a run, a walk, 3 Ks, a quality start. So the last 2 outings have been quality starts for Hendricks. I know the opponents haven't been great, with the White Sox, who've had a horrible season, and the Kansas City Royals, one of the worst teams in the league. But right now, he's on a contending Cub team here is Hendricks, and like I said, he could give you innings, give you some quality starts most nights, and he's just a guy that's going to keep that ERA in a decent range for the most part. So right now, I give Hendricks an ad this week. The next pitcher, Dakota Hudson of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Hudson, a few seasons ago, he came up and pitched well, but the last few years, he hasn't been serviceable at all for fantasy baseball. But right now, he's pretty decent for the St. Louis Cardinal team, even though we know they're going nowhere this season. So on the year here for Hudson, he's undefeated. I know it's a small sample size, but 43 1/3, 5-0 record, 32 strikeouts, a 3.78 ERA, a 1.28 WHIP, and 2 quality starts on the season. So right now he's going out there. He's giving this Cardinal team an opportunity to win each and every 5th day, is Dakota Hudson. And he's going to have a spot, obviously, in this rotation the remainder of the season, with Steven Matz hurt and Jordan Montgomery got traded at the MLB trade deadline. So the last few outings for Hudson, August 9th at the Rays, 5 innings, got the win. 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 2 Ks. August 15th versus the A's, 6 2/3, got the win. 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 3 Ks, a quality start. And then his latest outing versus the Mets yesterday, 5 1/3, got the win. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. So right now he's pitching good baseball, Hudson. I know he was never a starter that goes deep into games, and that third time around the lineup, we do him in. But right now, while he's pitching good baseball here, Hudson, and he's been serviceable for fantasy owners in the Cardinals as a back end of the rotation guy, I give him an ad this week. And like I said, pitching's very hard to find, especially 20 weeks into the season, and he's available right now in 78% of fantasy leagues. The next pitcher is Braxton Garrett of the Miami Marlins. So Garrett, it's been an up and down season here for him, but surprisingly, he's still available right now, is Braxton Garrett in tons of fantasy leagues at 54%. So on the season for Garrett, 7-4 record, 128 innings, 132 Ks, a 3.94 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, and 6 quality starts. And over the last couple weeks, 17 innings, 2-1 record, 10 Ks, a 2.65 ERA, 1 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So right now, Garrett's going out there, and he's just a pitcher that has a good ERA this season and pretty solid swing and miss stuff. The only thing, he don't qualify a lot for wins. He don't really go past 5 innings, and so he's not going to get a lot of wins, obviously. He's not going to get a lot of quality starts, but in terms of ERA and just going out there and helping fantasy owners as a back end of the rotation option, and a pitcher who's good pretty much every 5th day, he's definitely a pitcher I would give an ad to. August 8th at Cincinnati, 6 innings, got the win. 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, a quality start. August 14th versus Houston, 5 innings, got the win. 4 hits, 2 walks, in that one a K. And August 19th at the Dodgers, 6 innings, tough luck loser. 5 hits, 3 runs, 6 Ks, and that one a quality start. So Garrett is starting to push him a little bit more. This is obviously the stretch run. And this Marlins team, they're trying to make the playoffs for the first time in a long time here. So right now, while Garrett's pitching good baseball and still out there in 54% of fantasy leagues, this is a time for owners to go out there and get him. And the final pitcher I looked at off the wire this week here is Christopher Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies. So Sanchez, he's been on the waiver wire a lot this season, and it's very surprising to me he's still out there in 71% of leagues. On the season here, 64 1/3, 1-3 record, 58 Ks, a 3.36 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, and 5 quality starts. So right now, he's pitching on a solid Philadelphia Philly team, one of the better hitting teams in the league, no doubt about it. He's keeping that ball in the ballpark. He's keeping the ERA in the mid-3s to the lower 3s. Here's Christopher Sanchez, and he's going out there and getting the job done. So right now, in 12-team leagues or deeper, I believe he should be owned in more fantasy leagues here. The last couple outings, August 11th versus the Twins, 6 innings, got the win. 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. August 19th at the Nats, 6 innings, no decision. 7 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks, a quality start. So right now he's going to get offensive support. Even though I know his record's 1-3 in the season, but to be honest, record don't mean that much anymore in baseball. With a lot of bad bullpens out there, with starters only going 5 to 6 innings, where they're not going deeper to secure the win. But right now, he's on a winning ball club in Philadelphia, Sanchez. He's pitching good baseball with a good ERA and decent strikeout rate. And right now, why wouldn't you give him an ad, especially in the deeper leagues? That's a few pitchers I look to add here in a crucial week 20 of the fantasy baseball season.